As with any machine, you as an operator need to be familiar with all of the controls and their functions. So let's take a look around the operator's area. You'll notice that all controls have decals telling you what each motion of each lever or knob will activate. The dash panel contains both tractor and digger ignition switches, both choke buttons, both oil pressure warning lights, the ammeter, hour meter, headlight switch, fuse access panel, and the power section lockup pin control. The high-low and auxiliary hydraulic control valve is a two-position valve that shifts your tractor or your auxiliary hydraulic auger drive into high or low range. The tractor throttle lock is used for setting and holding the RPM of the tractor engine at the desired level. The flow meter tells how many gallons per minute of hydraulic oil is flowing through the auxiliary hydraulic system. There are 6 hydraulic valve handles. Familiarize yourself with them by reading the decals showing the action and motion that each control handle will provide. Be familiar with your digger and tractor throttle pedals. Your 225 is controlled with a joystick. To move the machine, simply move the joystick with a slow, smooth motion in the direction you want to travel. To stop, allow the joystick to return to the center position in the same slow, smooth motion. The park lock pin is a positive lock system for the tractor. And last we have the 2- and 4-wheel drive control valve. This is also a two-position valve, and it simply shifts your tractor into 2- or 4-wheel drive. Now let's cover some of the built-in safety features on the Model 225. First is the power section lockup pin. This pin locks the power section in numerous positions for installing augers or performing service on the machine. To lock, simply raise the power section all the way up and push in on the T-handle control, or line up the lock pin with any hole in the lock bar and push in on the T-handle control. Be sure the lock pin is fully protruding out and into a lock position. To unlock, raise the power section slightly to release pressure from the lockup pin and pull out on the T-handle control all the way. Always lock the power section before exiting the machine, installing augers, or performing any service to the power section unit. Next is the Extend-A-Dig lock pin. Use this pin if the Extend-A-Dig needs to be in the full up position with someone working around it, such as when changing the teeth on a long auger. To lock, raise the Extend-A-Dig all the way up. As always, be sure to lock the power section, lower the loader arms to the ground, then turn off the tractor and digger ignition and remove the keys before exiting the machine. Lift the Extend-A-Dig lock pin lever above the keeper. Push it all the way in until the lever can be placed behind the keeper. Be sure the lockup pin goes under the Extend-A-Dig main frame. To unlock, simply reverse this procedure. We're now at the park lock system on your tractor unit. This system, when locked, stops your tractor from creeping or rolling. To lock, lift the park lock lever, pull back and set down on the back side of the keeper. If you're not able to engage the pin, slowly move your tractor forward or back while pulling back on the park lock lever until the pin locks. To unlock, reverse this procedure. It might be necessary to slowly move the tractor unit forward or back to release pressure on the park lock pin enough to disengage. To properly step in and out of the operator's area, no matter which end the seat is facing, you'll use what we call the right-left-right method. Be sure the machine is turned off, the power section is locked, and the loader is in the down position. Next, place your right foot on the step tread of the skid plate and place your left foot inside the frame rail on the floor grating. Then, move your right foot to the throttle pedal area and sit down. To dismount the machine, simply reverse this procedure. Once seated, there are 3 steps that must be adhered to every time you get on the machine. Fasten the seat belt low and tight across your lap. Start the tractor engine and set the tractor engine RPM. Fasten the seat belt by inserting the flat end into the buckle. Then tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To start the tractor, set the throttle at a high idle. Insert the key into the tractor ignition, push and hold the choke button, and turn the key to the start position. Release the key and the choke button as soon as the engine starts. In cold weather, it may be necessary to push the choke intermittently for a short period of time until the engine will run on its own. To set the tractor engine RPM, we're going to use the auxiliary hydraulic flow meter gauge. This gauge reads how many gallons per minute are flowing through the auxiliary hydraulic system. Push down on the tractor throttle lock handle until the floating red line in the gauge raises to meet the stationary red line. This is a good beginning RPM. As you get more comfortable operating your machine, you may raise this RPM to somewhere near 3/4 throttle. Remember, do not run your tractor engine at full throttle all the time. This causes the machine to be over-responsive, burn excess gas, and it creates undue wear on the engine and pump systems. To properly shut off your 225, turn off the digger ignition, lock the power section, lower the loader arms to the ground. Then lower the tractor engine RPM until the flow meter reads approximately 8 to 9 gallons per minute. Then turn off the tractor engine and remove the keys. When the machine is shut off in this manner, it'll be necessary to choke the engine when you restart the tractor in order to avoid excess cranking time. You need to become accustomed to the feel of your machine. With the machine running, seatbelt fastened, and tractor engine RPM set, move one lever at a time slowly in each direction until you have activated all 6 hydraulic valve handles. Before driving your machine, be sure you have completed the following safety items. You have read and understood your maintenance manual. You have watched this video and understand all safety precautions up to this point. All dual wheels are mounted on your machine and have the proper inflation. Never operate your machine on hills or rough terrain until you have completed this training video and practiced running the machine enough to feel comfortable. Now you're ready to start driving the tractor. Raise the loader approximately 1 foot off the ground and raise the power section all the way up. Use your left hand on the joystick. Slowly and smoothly move the joystick in the direction you want to travel. At any time, if you want to stop, allow the joystick to return to the center position slowly and smoothly. Before backing the machine, be sure that you always turn and look behind you to see if the area is clear. When operating the machine, never allow anyone to be within 10 feet. Never allow riders or passengers. The high-low valve can be shifted while in motion, but it's a lot easier and smoother if shifted while the joystick is in the center position. The 2- and 4-wheel drive valve is operated in the same manner as the high-low valve. Now there are 3 combinations of these 2 valves that you'll use. First is low-range 4-wheel drive. You use this when ultimate ground drive is needed for climbing hills and crawling over rough terrain at slow speed. Next is high-range 4-wheel drive. This combination will be most commonly used for normal conditions while digging holes or running your loader. And third is high-range 2-wheel drive. 2-wheel drive increases your forward speed nearly 40%, and this combination should be used when traveling long distances on smooth ground. Be sure to operate the tractor enough that you become smooth and comfortable before going on to Section 3. Do not use low-range 2-wheel drive, as this will cause undue wear on the tractor drive system. Understand all of the controls and their functions. Always lock the power section with the lockup pin before you exit the machine or anytime you're not drilling. Use the right, left, right method to step into your machine. Once seated, always complete these steps in order. Fasten your seatbelt, start the tractor engine, set the tractor engine RPM. Most commonly, you'll use high range 4-wheel drive. Never use low range 2-wheel drive.